There is a lot of misinformation flying around right now about Anthem and this particular problem, so today we're going to clear that up with a bit of fact. We're also going to introduce a second part of this video, which is going to be why there is hope for Anthem at the end of this very particular problem. But this problem is massive. This problem can make or break everything that Anthem is and its market share in this industry. If this game wants to succeed, this problem cannot be something that carries over into the full game. We already know it's going to in some way, but it cannot do it like this. So I would imagine by now, most of you have seen the most egregious reality I have seen in a modern AAA game in recent memory. There is a screen grab going around that started on Reddit, in which there was a picture of Anthem's store where you could see that they were charging 20 real world dollars, 20 real world dollars for a skin. That's right, as you all know, that's just a literal paint job for a javelin. A skin. That's it. 20 real world dollars. Now let me explain something to you for a bit of context. Back when everybody got really angry with Oblivion for horse armor, that was $2.50. This is 20 real world dollars. When you look at the screen grab that you saw of the store, or you may not have seen of the store, what you see is that these prices are out of this world. They're not prices that make any sort of sense for what's being sold, but there's multiple problems here. Some people aren't talking about, some people are, and then some that people are talking about, sometimes it's a little bit misinformed, so we have to clear that up as well. Let's start with the reality of the situation. First off, the screen grab says yes, $20 for a javelin skin. Here's the thing, that may or may not be reality. That screen grab was taken from a private, I guess you could call it a session. From what I understand, this screen grab was not supposed to be taken at all, but the reality of that screen grab is BioWare created that screen or store simply as a template to show individuals what the store was going to look like. The prices were meant to be simply template prices, right? They were just numbers thrown up on the screen to show people what the store would be so that they could see or get an idea of what was coming to the game in that regard. Now, a lot of people are saying that do know that oh, those prices aren't reality at all. Those are just things that they put up on the screen so that people could see it. They don't mean anything. False. That is absolutely not true. I would love to believe that as well. But if you genuinely believe that BioWare and EA went in there and made these false prices that were entirely misleading simply to put something up there as if they didn't know that people would understand that these things were out of control, as if they didn't think there would be a response to them, as if they didn't know this information would get out there, is naive and ridiculous. BioWare and EA both knew what they were doing when they put those prices up there. They were probably doing one of two things. The first is those prices were genuinely something that they were considering. Otherwise, it's really easy to put a more pleasing price point on these things. It's not difficult to avoid controversy here. That's the thing that people keep missing. It's not hard to avoid the controversy of this situation if you're EA or BioWare. If those really are template price points, simply change them. It's not difficult to go in there and change the template to show better, more reasonable numbers. That's not hard at all, especially if your point is we're showing people what this store might be. Okay, then show them what the prices might be. But wait, there's two reasons why that might not happen either. The first reason is because they know the prices are not reasonable and they don't want to show their hand too early and get people pissed off. Or the second reason is, and this is the most likely reason this happened in the first place, is they were testing the realities of the market amongst a small group of people. Are these prices something you will be angry about? Do you think these prices are reasonable? This is exactly what EA and BioWare wanted. Not the outrage necessarily, but the reaction. Right? This is the exact same thing that happened with Battlefront 2. Let's not forget this. Where they released the game in, I don't know what you would call that first test, a demo or beta, whatever terrible, deceitful market speak EA is using now. And the game was pay to win. It was awful. it had a microtransaction store that was just totally out of line, and then the game came out and Disney stepped on the throats and things had to change. So this is kind of one of those step on the throat moments, right? Where you think to yourself, okay, they've seen this is not okay. It's not okay, so let's change it, right? That's the reality of the situation. But let's induce the actual final game realities here, what those will likely be, as well as why there is hope, more importantly for Anthem in general, to even avoid all of this. So let's get to those two things. The first thing here is the actual reality of this game. What we've seen from the store is it's not going to be pretty. You can slice this any way you want to slice it. You can say, oh, they're cosmetic only. Oh, there's this, there's that. Look, guys, there is a difference here. There's a difference between a system being manipulative in order to get you to buy things, right? So a system like Star Wars Battlefront 2 that manipulates you through gameplay choices and gameplay realities, like play to win. That doesn't mean that if a system isn't play to win or manipulative from a gameplay perspective, that it isn't designed to manipulate you in other ways. People keep forgetting that. Just because something is manipulative doesn't mean it can't be manipulative in another way. These pay-to-win stores, these things are great that they're not there, right? But we already saw this with Black Ops. Black Ops released with no microtransactions at all, and then a month after the reviews drop, boom! Here is a tier system that is maybe the most insulting system I could possibly imagine, which has since been nerfed a little bit, which is also nice. But it's a system that is simply designed to manipulate every single bit of its player base, right? So with Anthem here, the most interesting thing is that this store is filled with things that really shouldn't be purchasable in the first place. Let's not forget, this is not Warframe. This is not a free-to-play game. There should not be 1,000 different purchasable items in a game that costs $60. In a game that costs $60, guess what there should be? I know what there should be. You know what there should be. Free unlockables. And yes, most of these things apparently can be unlocked with in-game currency. But if you genuinely believe that that system, unlockable system, that currency system, is not designed to push you towards microtransactions, you have never played a modern AAA game from a publisher like Activision, EA, or 2K. You have lost your mind. Of course, the system is going to be built to manipulate you and push you towards purchasing these things instead of earning them. Of course, most of these things are going to be so out of reach to gain the things that you really want that you're going to be enticed to spend real world money. This is barely even speculation. It's barely even a guess. It's so obvious at this point, given every single presidential release that we have seen since then. Yes, I made that word up. Yes, I meant precedents. There's no doubt about it. So when you look at these things and you hear BioWare say everything is purchasable with real world or with in-game currency, that's wonderful. Why is the system here in the first place? Some of you are going to say, well, how are devs going to earn the money to give us more experiences? It's simple. If there's an experience worth playing, charge us for it. It'll be worth the money. This isn't crazy, guys. These things have worked for a decade. If you're going to build a genuinely worthy bit of gameplay, a genuinely worthy bit of an expansion, even if it's just a mission, charge $2 for it. Is it a better alternative to have giant packs of paid DLC and split the player base? I don't think it is either, but maybe it makes more sense than manipulating your player base. I'm not entirely sure. What I am sure of is that when the game launches, there should not be 1,000 purchasables. That is what I'm sure of. When a game launches, everything that is in that DLC store should probably be available for free within the game. Period. It shouldn't even be purchasable. If you want to introduce a bunch of skins and stuff down the line, sure. Slowly trickle them out, sure. Whatever. But to have a million different things you can pay for when the game launches is textbook what we've been trying to avoid for a decade, which is game launches without everything that's supposed to be in it, and some of it is reserved for DLC. Come on. Guys, that is literally day one DLC. You can slice it however you want. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. But there is hope here, guys. It is worth pointing out that there is hope here, right? I don't necessarily have a whole bunch of hope in this microtransaction store, but what I will say is I had a huge list of technical problems on PC during that first demo. I was privy to the alpha. You know, when you play the game and it works, right? And it works, It is in a lot of ways novel. It is in a lot of ways very enjoyable. I've talked about it before in a longer video. The traversal is great. The gameplay itself can be very enjoyable. The mission structure leaves a bit to be desired, but just flying around with your friends alone is pretty awesome. I mean, the foundation is there for a great game. It just has to be allowed to be a great game. Right? There's the potential here for something really special, but it has to be allowed to be that really special thing. And what I mean by that is this game has to launch in a state that's finished, right? It can't have a lacking end game. We've heard things like there's only 2 strikes, or there's only 3 strikes available at launch, or what Anthem considers strikes, and one of them was in the demo or beta or whatever the hell you call it. It has to be ready to be played, and we've seen this with Destiny, we've seen it with the Division, and the problem is that the Destiny and the Division got a benefit of the doubt that EA is not going to get, but better yet, this is the bigger problem. It's not just that EA is going to get. Ubisoft and Bungie aren't at risk of being shut down by Activision or, well, Ubisoft. These developers that are making these games are not at risk of closure. So it's not just that they get a bigger benefit of the doubt given who they are. It's more important that these developers don't have to worry about their livelihoods. And with EA, BioWare has to worry. They're not going to be given the benefit of the doubt if this game is screwed up by EA and it doesn't sell well. They're going to be closed down, period. That's what's going to happen to them. Not only are they not going to get the benefit of the doubt, but they're not going to exist, right? So this game has to be given a chance to live, and I genuinely hope it does, because at the end of the day, forget the monetization, forget the server problems, forget the technical issues, which are hard to forget, but at the end of the day, underneath all this is a game that if it's given time to live, and when I mean time to live, I don't mean time after launch, I mean before launch. If this game was given the chance to be finished, it could be spectacular, it could be great, it could be phenomenal. No, it's not Destiny, no, it's not Warframe, it could be something very unique in its own. I just hope it was given that chance. But now I want to know what you guys think. What do you think about what Anthem is becoming? What do you think about what you're hearing? Did you know that these numbers were placeholder numbers? Did you even see these numbers beforehand? Are you even interested at all in Anthem? Are you going to buy it? And I think my most interesting question is, if you've played Anthem, are you or would you be willing to even engage in these microtransactions at all? I don't care what the price is. Let's say it's $1. Are these something you would even buy? I mean, are they something you'd even be interested in? Honestly, no shaming in the comments. None of that stuff. I genuinely want to know, because clearly somebody has to be buying these things. And I know we all like to say, you know, I would never buy them, I would never buy them, but somebody's got to be buying them. And if that's you, I mean, no shame at all. I would like to know why, you know. Maybe you have a great reason. Maybe you're rolling in money. I just don't know, but I'm genuinely curious. Let me know the answer to any of those questions down in the comments below. Let's have a real conversation. As always, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you're not even on this team, press subscribe. I put out gaming analysis and examinations, not quite like this one, a little bit more scripted and quite a bit more edited. But these discussion videos do come once a week, so subscribe so you do not miss any of that. Yeah, as always, my Twitter handle will be in the top pinned comment down below. You can follow me there to get an idea of what games I'm playing, participate in polls. I often let Twitter decide my thumbnails and titles, so you can be a part of that. I try to let you guys be a part of this channel as much as I can, so you can do that on Twitter as well. Yeah, as always, thank you guys. Thank you for the greatest month in this channel's history. It's been incredible. But also, if you did enjoy this video, I'm sorry. I put out more and more each and every week. Maybe you'll catch that, maybe you'll enjoy that. But if not, thank you for giving me and this channel a shot. And until next time, guys, I'm out.